Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another NIKKE reaction. Today we have Can This Be the End, as requested by Nobody Peanut, which is a great username, as well as a reply comment from Kirby Start saying I should listen to Dark Matter again, and I'm not entirely sure why that would be relevant, considering they're probably two completely different sets of songs. I don't know if it's going to be like the same character or like related to them. I trusted Kirby Start to re-listen to that, so I did. So I'm going in with this knowing what that song sounded like, so if there's a motif thing, hopefully I catch it, but it's also very possible it'll go right over my head even if I did just re-listen to it, because that's how my brain decides to work sometimes. But I digress, and without further ado, let's go. Woo. Jumping right in. Very heavy start, but I expect no more or no less from Nien. Woo. Playing around in those pentatonic scales. Okay, Nien, I hear you. So far, I'm not hearing anything relating to Dark Matter, so. It is a little bit early, though. Love a good Tom breakdown section. I love this layering on the guitars here. I'm actually kind of surprised that the song started out so heavy. It's backed off a little bit. It's still heavy as hell, don't get me wrong, but it kind of went in a different direction, I guess. It didn't keep like scaling itself up. It kind of pivoted instead. Kind of playing around right next to that Egyptian scale. This feels kind of like a Gundam fight. It's just got that sort of energy to it. Back to the breakdown. I assume, like many of these, it's going to be 2 passes of the song overall before it transitions to the next version. It's a lot of time to get to think about it. Keep things locked away so I can talk about them afterwards. I love the layering on this so much, dude. The harmonics in there are beautiful. Just scaling against each other, it's really cool. But how does it get remixed? That's always the next question. Cosmograph leaning more into that. Ooh. You say he's leaning more into that Egyptian scale, that pentatonic. Ooh. His edit of that guitar part. It's an aggressive side change for the it's like dipping really heavy. Letting that ring out. Great choice. Also, how did Cosmograph get the singer from Volbeat to do this? I know it's not, of course. Unless. As always, Cosmo just kind of keeping the real vibe, the original version. The essence is still there, but he's just doing his rearranging so well. It feels completely new. Like, tell me that doesn't sound like the singer from Volbeat, right? If you know, you know. His additions to the synths, like adding those the way he does, matching those with the guitars. It's always so subtle, but God, he just does it so well. It almost takes the place of the rhythm guitar. I'm being so quiet, just kind of jamming out, but I'm just processing all the layers that Cosmo adds on the synths. He just turns every single song he touches into a cake of sound. It's like an onion. It has layers. It's so good. Every single time, dude. Okay, before anybody says it, yes, I did hear the vocal part come back in from Dark Matter to this version. So now I understand the connection. I was just like, why would there be a connection? I wasn't hearing anything. I almost forgot I needed to be listening to that until I heard that part. And I'm like, oh, okay. But I was just vibing so much, I didn't feel like mentioning it. But now it makes sense why they said I should re-listen to it, so at least there's that. At first, when I heard that chugging guitar part before that during the breakdown prior to those vocals coming in, that's what I thought he was referring to when he said I should listen to that, because that's kind of a similar pattern, but that's also just kind of one of the patterns to do in this genre, one of like 3, so it's not too much flexibility there, and you're like, okay, well, that would be kind of silly if that was the callback, but nope, it was definitely the vocals. That was really neat to throw that in there and tie things together. It might have even just been because it's like, do you want to keep replaying that same set of vocals that he had new for this song? But instead he was probably like, you know what, this is in the same key, let's tie this all together and make a nice little present out of it for all the fans. So that's a very nice approach to take. Though I have to be honest, I think I actually prefer the first version of this song. I think Nien knocked it out of the park. Cosmos was really fun, don't get me wrong, but as far as like just the writing of it, I think I prefer Nien's take on this, mostly because it has a lot more movement. In this case, it almost feels like Cosmo was kind of taking a honestly more of a cheaper approach to this song and just kind of throwing things he already had around into this song. It didn't feel quite as creatively inspired as some of his other remix to Nien's other works in the past, but that's not to say it's bad. It's just that I think Nien's is really on its own the thing that stands out in this one, and everything that he brought to this song is probably what makes this one feel so good to me, so I have to give it to that first half that just sounded so phenomenal. It sounds like uplifting in a lot of ways too, like it started much darker as I mentioned, and then as the song keeps going and it builds into this more like prideful energy, it starts to feel more hopeful. You get that like heroic energy behind it, that whole like this fight isn't over quite yet, so that ties in with the name Can This Be the End really well, so I love that, like just that essence of we won't let this be the end as the song starts to build into that energy. And yeah, the remix with the lyrics especially definitely brings even more of that out, but it also just feels kind of like an arbitrary addition compared to just what Nien was bringing to the table on this one. The way that they were layered and stacked against each other, there were counter melodies and harmonies just screaming through that entire first half, and I have to give it that much credit for what it was. I usually say this when there's the pair of Nien making a song and then Cosmo remixing it, but he didn't just give Cosmo a layup in here, he gave him all the answers to the test. Like, this isn't an, oh yeah, I'll help you study sort of situation. This is a, don't worry bro, I got you. And Nien kind of let Cosmo read the answers to the test off the paper next to him. So in this case, for this song, I really think that Nien shines way more than Cosmo does. And if Cosmo watches this and he's like, hey, what the hell, man? I hope you don't take offense to that. You're still a banger musician. You still have your amazing ear for remixes and your own original works entirely. But definitely for this one, I think that Nien just kind of pulled out ahead of the pack and just did so much on this one and gave you so much to work with that it wasn't even as easy as it usually was. It was literally you going, how can I improve this? This might even be a little bit bold to say, but it almost feels like Cosmo might have been struggling a bit to find something to do with this song that would make it better because it was already so phenomenally good. But I think I'll end my yapping there, so thank you all so very much for watching. If you have any other songs you want me to get to from NIKKE, by all means let me know and I will do my best to get to them as always. And of course, if you just like this video and you want to follow me and support me for more stuff in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!